working for an apparel company, they called SVH because financially they're just not cutting it. So you're walking in and you're gonna start your home visit.
Same numbers.
Same thing, just the husband and wife are different costumes.
Okay. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
This is Simon. I'm Harvey. Okay, I understand you've been having some problems.
We're like legit broke.
Broke.
Legit broke.
We've definitely been
Interesting.
struggling.
Like struggling is not even, like we are less than broke. Like we literally have nothing. Nothing.
I don't know if I feel nothing, but there's definitely been pinch.
He's
and
so
stress
passive,
and-
pinch and stress. Oh my God, you don't even know. We're in total debt. Like I can't even like breathe. Okay, he's whatever. He made like $200,000 last year. We all know that's not enough. Everybody's making more. And someone says something about me working. I should work. A woman should work. It says in the ketubah that the husband takes care of her. Did Sarah Imenu work? She did not. My mother never worked. My grandmother never worked. My sister never worked. My friend, my family never worked. No, it's very hard. It's so hard.
It's been really,
I get it.
really challenging.
Challenging.
And I feel bad for my wife. And I try really, really hard. I've been doing this
Fine.
for.
He tries hard, my God. Okay, I take care of 5 kids. Taking care of 5 kids, it's
Big
like
job.
10 jobs. It's like 10 jobs.
Sure.
He only has to do 1 job, and that he can't even
What
do
is-
properly.
Tell
1
me,
job.
Tell me what your husband
I
does.
mean, he
What
sells
does he do?
stuff. Like I don't know, sells.
That's it. He just goes and sits
Goes
and sells
and sells
stuff.
things. I don't know. People sell things. They make
When he
money.
comes home with 200 grand.
Yeah, but hello,
Just sells stuff.
he sells stuff. Yeah.
Don't
he
you
sells
think
stuff.
he has a tough job?
Like I said, I'm taking care of 5 kids. That's like 10 jobs.
You got it.
He
you
has
have a
1
tough
job.
also. Understood.
Yeah, there's just 1 job. And I don't understand why he can't be making more.
So
He
do you,
should-
do you
he
make
should be
200
making more.
grand? Watch
That's
you-
not my job.
You have 10 jobs.
No, so my job is not to make the money. My job is to shop for the kids and to shop for the food and to shop for vacation
Right.
and to shop for houses in Deal in the summer. That's my job. That's a lot of jobs. He has 1.
That costs a lot of money, right?
Yeah,
Where does it come from?
he should make more. That's what I'm saying. You get
Okay,
me?
so we're here now. Do you have any suggestions how he can
You
make
know
more?
what you know what he should do? Cash advance. That's what everyone says. My friend's husband should cash advance, and they drive such nice cars. And my sister-in-law's brother's cousin, he does cash
You know what?
advance also, making so much money. I think he should
You
do
know
cash
what?
advance.
You know what?
What?
Okay, you guys are observant, right? We're Jewish, we're all observant, right?
Yeah.
To whatever degrees we are, okay.
Yeah, I'm very, very religious.
Okay.
I go to classes.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
right.
So you would never think of doing something dishonest, immoral, unethical, I hope, right?
No, of course not.
Okay, good.
Of course not.
Okay, I can tell you from guys that I know that do cash advance, they don't sleep too well at night.
It's not true. My cousin's
Yeah, they
brother's
make a lot of
friend, he's a
money.
tzaddik, and he does cash advance. And he gives so much tzedakah. He gives a lot of tzedakah because he makes so much money.
All right, let's get down to the thing over here. All right, so you came to us. What is it that you want from us?
I want you to tell him that he needs to make more money, that it's his responsibility.
You want us just to tell him that?
No, but like-
So we'll
but
tell him
like
that
make-
and then we'll go home?
No, but like, also like, give him the connections. Like, isn't that what you do?
Okay, so hang on now. You take a little rest, okay? Okay. Now, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you think the problem is and what you think we can do to help you.
The last definitely 2 years have been hard in the business.
Hard in the business.
Shipping.
Hard for
One
him.
second,
It's
one
hard
second.
for me. No, but you don't understand how
Take another
difficult
sip.
this
Take
is.
another sip.
Okay, but you don't understand how difficult this is for me. Like, I'm the one really suffering over
I
here.
understand. I'm trying to help. I understand
But you
completely.
have to hear me. You're not hearing me.
You have 5 kids. You have 10
Yes,
jobs.
5
You have
kids.
all the things to pay for and to do and get done. I hear it all.
I need to make sure that you really understand me because I don't think he's very good at communicating.
I understand.
Okay,
But
so I
let's-
just need to
you know
make sure
what?
you understand.
Let's give him a chance.
All right.
Let's give him a chance.
Okay, we're gonna pause it here. You did awesome. You did awesome. We're just gonna, yes, thank you so much.
Great job.
Harvey, nice job.
Okay, let's throw it out to the crowd. What did you notice?
Well, she came in dressed to the nines, her expensive clothes and her pocketbook and whatnot, and she's demanding more money. I don't know if she's demanding for necessities or for luxuries. If the vacation and this and that, whatever it was. I think, over time, the team would have to work with her to lower the expectations and contribute, and any manner that they can find that she would be able to do.
100%.
I think also besides the money, she's putting her husband down in front of other people. So there's a problem with the marriage, probably first, and the money is probably secondary. So they probably have to work on that first. What else?
He seems very intimidated by her. He won't even speak up at
Look at
all.
her, she's very.
Yeah.
There's a dream like inside.
That's years of build-up and he can't talk.
Awesome, now we're gonna have the unsilent social
Okay.
worker attempt.
Good evening, guys.
Take it to come.
My pleasure. Wow, Ezra, $200,000 in COVID. You know, friends of mine out there in the apparel business, and like they can't make cut nothing.
Are you
That's a
kidding?
lot of
Really,
money.
Are you
really
kidding me? Hold on a second. Are you kidding me? You really think that that's enough to cover the lifestyle that we live? I'm saying, look, do you see what's going on around you? Do you see how $200,000? Come on, that has to be a joke. You have to be joking.
No, and I get it's hard, and Vicky, and I do hear that, but Ezra, I must start with that because I'm just, wow, that's like awesome
You
stuff.
seem to know what's going on.
And I
it's
do, and I
really
have
hard,
friends,
yeah.
in fact, I actually have an apparel business myself, and my top salesmen, they're not even reaching that type of amount. That's really great work. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but that's
We've
just
been
good
working
stuff.
really, really hard in the past few years. And, you know, it's definitely still a struggle. We feel a little pinched once in a while, but I see big things for this company, you know, and the fact that we made it through COVID, we're you know,
Great
we're
work, you
making
should be
good
really
plans.
proud, and listen, if anything that you hear me tonight, that's really, really good, and I wanna sort of begin with that, cause I know a lot of people really struggling out there, so that's really good.
Yeah, we're really struggling.
Okay, let's pause it here for a second. Did anyone notice anything?
He went straight to the husband and he brought him up. And he gave him encouragement and pointed out his positive qualities and what he is able to do and what he has done during a difficult time.
Okay, exactly. So he walked in and started with that compliment towards the husband because, right, he spoke to intake and he heard that the wife was blaming the husband, berating him in the middle of the intake, and thought, you know what, let's, again, throw it off, start with a compliment. We begin by building him up in her eyes. And while he was doing that, he made sure, though, to validate the wife, because if you lose her, then we might have like scene one where she kind of went off and went a little crazy.
Isn't an important part of the dynamics is who approached Bikur Cholim first? In both cases, I mean, if it was the husband approaching because he wants to make more money, or in this case, he approached because he wants to make more money, but she's the tough one, it's an important thing for the social worker and the case and the captain to understand and know going in.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just for how the intake went, but who initiated it.
100%. Who spoke,
Yeah.
who called, how it went, how the dynamics went, what they shared, who shared, exactly.
Yeah, because in this case, if she's the one who's initiated, it's because she just fed up with her husband.
Right.
And she's looking for help. But if he initiated because he has a sincere desire to try to make things meet, to try to satisfy his wife's situation, it's a very, very different way that would be handled.
Yeah, that's a really good
Absolutely,
point.
you made a great point. I think what I was doing over here was, and generally intake, Ratson or Shoshana's gonna hear that. We're gonna go into their offices and we're gonna actually hear from them. What did you see? What did you feel? What are you picking up? And they're actually gonna say, oh my God, you wouldn't believe. She didn't give me a second. She was like, him. So I'm already walking in there, and I think, and I want to encourage that before we're walking into meetings, to speak to the social worker, ask that question. Did you speak to intake? What's their take on it? What's their feeling? What's the tempo? Who's made that call? That for us is a lot of information. When we're going into sales meeting, we try and generally go in with knowing our buyer, what they're interested in, how was that? So for us, I think that's the point over here. And I walked in knowing that information, and I knew that there sounded like a somewhat of a beaten down husband right now, whose wife is completely blaming everything on.
Even better, I mean, guys, when you get the assignment email, we purposely show you who did the intake, because really what we like to happen is you get on call with the social worker and the intake person, because I want you as the captain going in, hearing, wait, it's a dominating wife or a dominating husband, or there's marriage issues, or this is the presenting issues, or who referred them in. Maybe it's a rabbi that I need to collaborate with. Which of the spouses came in? Crucial. So we captains have to be the one to speak to the intake person along together with the social worker. I don't want the social worker getting in and spoon feeding, because you're gonna have questions the social worker may not be thinking of. So I have a question. At that moment, so when you're building up Ezra, right, you're empowering, encouraging, and validating him, is the goal just that? Is it unrealistic at that point to have Vicky hearing an outsider give her husband a compliment? What's kind of the goal in that moment from you building up Ezra?
Good, it's a great question. It's going to be our next two scenes. We're going to sort of.
Did I just screw that up then?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I have a question here. I didn't see the validation, maybe I missed it, but to me, I saw Vicky jumping down his throat with, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" I don't think she was being validated. I think she was getting worked up. And at the end, we know the husband was able to speak a little bit, but still, I didn't see her, calm down too much at all.
Yeah, the truth is the validation, I think this is a tricky thing, but I'll explain it. The validation is not necessarily those words. The validation is, I'm validating husband. Husband's over here, he's sitting in a meeting, he's embarrassed, he's ashamed, wife is beating him in front of somebody right now, and he's doing a good job. He's out there doing a good job. The fact that I can give him the importance and stop her and focus on him in and of itself is very, very healing at that point, and very settling, and shows he's going to walk away from there saying, wow, somebody finally gets me and gets the craziness I'm living with. So I think the validation is that unspoken language of, I've noticed you and I've noticed what's in front of me. What we do with that after, I think we're going to discuss, and Jessica's going to share with you, but it's a really good point. It's not actually validating, it's just about, I'm here, I got you, I understand what's happening. Yeah, that makes sense? Okay. Should we roll? Okay. So, Ezra, tell me, so this job that you do, what do you do? I mean, it sounds like you're working for an apparel business, earning some good money.
Yeah, so I'm part of the top staff, and part of my job is to manage other staff and sometimes partnered with other people, and I really try to run, a lot of the operations, a lot of hard work, a lot of moving pieces.
I don't know, if he wants to work hard, there's other ways to work hard. Really, he should be networking out there. You should really be going out there networking. This is on you that we're behind on bills. This is your fault. There's more that you should be doing. The other people out there, they're able to manage it with their families, and you are not able to manage it with our family. It's on you.
Vicky, you say it so right, and I have to tell you, being a father also of 8, it's really hard out there. Being Jewish is so expensive, and you know what? Putting 8 kids in school, it's so hard, and just having kosher food. I mean, I don't know when you saw the right prices, but prices just go, you just keep going up, and you know what? You're not wrong. And it really is hard out there, and just kind of like this Jewish life is really, really, really expensive, and I hear that.
Okay. What did, if anything, did anyone notice?
I think he was able to pinpoint like the little bit of agreement point between him and the wife, Simon and the wife, that they could at least validate and agree on. He disregarded the rest of it about how not keeping up on the bargain, the whole thing. But yes, everybody could agree. Times are tough. It's hard out there, and validating that, I think, made her feel again seen the same way he did with the husband, but in a different way, without feeding into that kind of rage that she had.
Beautiful. So yeah.
The villain,
Huh?
the villain was transferred from the husband to the outside world.
Beautiful. Well done. So we call that, we shift the blame, we reframe it. We're taking that sting from her right now, where she's focused on him, and if she's going to focus on him, we can't help this family. What we now need to do is shift it to an object, and right now it's called just being Jewish, right? But at least what we've done is taken that out, placed it on now being Jewish. Jewish now becomes the enemy. And we hate Jewish right now. Yeah. But at least what it does, we take that out.
Send that to Atene, guys.
Okay,
Great. Do you wanna roll a little once?
yeah,
Just to close. Got it.
yeah, I do. Guys, you know, I have to tell you, first of all, thank you for really being honest,
Thank
and
you
you're
for
so
coming
right.
and listening to me.
Vicky,
I
you're
just
so
like,
right.
it's so hard and I have
No.
nobody to talk to because really nobody understands what I'm going through and I just have to pretend that life is okay and that it's perfect and it's really, really nice. So thank you so much for listening.
And it's true, but guys, you know, here's what I want to share with you guys, you know, and having done this and I do this for, you know, for a long time, you know, I want to suggest something. I know that you would love your husband to earn money, and you should, but here's what I want to do. I think right now what I want to take away from tonight is it's not about sort of the here and now. Why don't we, Ezra, you know, why don't we think about maybe you can get a pay rise. Sounds like that you have a really good relationship with your boss. Maybe let's look at things. Maybe we'll start with working on where you are. Let's look around. You know, we have a division called Career Services. It's run by brilliant people. These are the people right now. What I want to do is just take things slowly. And I want to share with you, it's going to be a little bit of a process. So Vicky, can you bear with that? Can you work that? Because right now I think what we're going to have to do, it's going to take some time, but I get you. I know what you're going through and I recognize that this is really, really hard and difficult. I would love to see your husband. I mean, I see a great guy. I know you can do great. And I think just because right now, whatever's happening out there, maybe, you know, and you should, and just allowing me to come here, you made that first move. So I'm proud of that, and you should really be proud about yourselves, and I'm great that you called us in. But I'm going to start with thinking about this, myself and the social worker, and we're going to come out with a real plan to really, really help you, but it's just going to take some time. Would that be okay?
Yeah, but you make a lot of money, so you can tell them how to make a lot of money also, right?
Sure, I will.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just to kind of sum up, because there are two seeds kind of got put together of, as we said, that you picked up and pointed out, of reframing the blame, of pointing out and putting it on something else, so that the wife could lay off of him for a second and not, you know, attack him about it, and we could kind of reframe it and blame some outside thing. The second thing is that if you notice, Simon kind of shifted from the short term of, we need to make this money now, cash advance, whatever that whole, you know, spiel was. We're gonna look long term. We're gonna pause. It's gonna be a process. And the last thing that we did was he noticed that maybe for the wife, this was a little bit more of a venting session, which is okay, but we don't want it to happen in front of the husband. We don't want him to be broken down more and go out there and be beaten up. Where, like, we need to explain to her and teach her that in order for him to succeed, we gotta build him, right? Like, if you're made to feel successful, you're going to be successful. So with that being said, Simon is going to, if you notice, he cut the meeting. He didn't get into the details. He didn't start asking. He's like, it's okay, we could do this individually. Clearly right now they're not ready to be met as a team together, sitting in the room talking about like a hot topic. So he's gonna follow it up with helping validate the husband and continue on that. Give chizuk to the wife of, I hear you, I understand you, we're gonna figure this out. Again, reframing the blame and building him up. And lastly is maybe something a move he would do is offer to cover some of the bills of, again, like, let's alleviate a little bit of the pressure so we're not just thinking short term, like my electric's being turned off and I need to take a different job or I need to leave my job. Like, hey, maybe you could get a promotion in your job. Maybe there's room to make some money on the side. Maybe there's something that your wife is good at or would be, you know, could be built up to also take on and want to be involved in. So thank you so much.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Great. Alana, you're in the wrong field, though.
So before we kind of sum it all up, and we've got a little bit of takeouts for you, what I want to leave with this message is the following. As a treatment plan and as a model case management, and what we do is a family treatment plan. We need the husband and wife on the same page. When we're walking in there, we're only as good as this relationship. And I think the first thing to recognize and be aware of, there are personalities in this room. And if they are not meeting, we're in trouble. Because no matter which way we look at it, we've got to figure out what do we do with this relationship? How are we going to bring them on the same page? In the first scene, what you saw was an overbearing husband. We have a wife that we don't know what's happening. She's sitting there quiet. What's happening to her? how in the world are we going to treatment plan and guide? So obviously for the husband, we've got to figure out to allow his wife into that treatment plan because he's stuck. He's not going to allow his wife in there. Maybe she can contribute some money. Maybe she has advice. Maybe she has some direction. We're going to miss this beautiful part. And how in the world are we going to work with the wife when we can't talk to her? She's not allowing us. So our job as captains is to very cleverly figure out how we're going to bring this relationship together. And sometimes, or most of the time, it's not in that room. And I would like us to think about different ways and creative ways that we can catch either one alone. And as Alana said, Jessica said, what we would do in those circumstances is maybe invite them in, maybe the wife in, maybe call her in. We do this quite regularly. We don't sort of, even if we have something, but we bring them in. How you doing? Oh, come by. What's up with you? We hear a different version. We hear a different story. And then we can start what we call piecing together. So that was sort of scene one. On scene two, it was the flip side of that. Well, all of a sudden you have a husband who's earning really good money. And the sad reality is that, number one, she doesn't see that in a respectful way. We don't have them on the same page. So this resentment, this anger, this frustration on him, it's only doing him bad. And it's only making him feel so low and so much of a failure that how does he think big? All he's doing is coming home and is trying to keep the wife quiet. That's all he's trying to do. But that doesn't allow him to even think bigger of himself, because even if he could think bigger in slow, different increments, maybe he could think about going to get a pay rise. Maybe that little bit where he could go to his boss, or maybe he can think about doing something on the side. He's not available to do that because his wife has set him up so big that unless he earns an extra $200,000-300,000, he's not even going to even attempt to try it. So our job in that place over there is to try and think about, number one, how do we slow that wife down? How do we give her the understanding that her role is to big the husband up, to be behind him? If you want him to earn money, you're doing a bad job about it, right? You're just showing him his failures. So we have to really educate sometimes the wife. And again, and we have to make a distinction. This is not trying to be a therapist. Obviously, if you hear it the way it was rough this way, as we spotted out, there could be an intrinsic difficulty in their marriage. And again, that's where our arm of the clinic takes place, and that's where therapy and marriage work comes. But going in there, in the initial part, I think that's the stuff that I would love you to be aware of. We've got to figure out how we can slow her down and start to see the good in the husband. Start to bring him, start to give him that strength, cheer him on, be his cheerleader, and figure out how to big him. On the husband side, right now, he needs to be heard and he needs to be validated. He's working hard and he feels like a failure. And what that world could look like for him in that marriage, and both as a husband, both as a father, of walking around, going out there, waking up in the morning, doing the best he can. And it's our job over to say, well done. You should be proud of yourself. Yes, you do need more money. That's okay. But we're going to separate that because you're a great human being and you deserve that. And yes, you have a problem on the outside, but the wife is squashing it together. She's making him feel like a failure, and she's looking at him as a person with, you're not providing. But for us, we don't need to look at it like that. We need to look at it as, you're a great guy. And yes, we need to help you earn more money. Okay.
Awesome.
So we have a little take-home card I'm gonna pass around of kind of summing up everything that Simon shared, of just like the tips and tricks that we pulled out from tonight of what we learned. Just some things can go into a home visit or just really any meeting, when meeting with clients where, the dynamics are a little bit shifted one way or the other way, and how to, work with them. So thank you everyone so much.